Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Nerdarchy Ryan, and today I'm joined by...
Nerdarchy Dave.
Nerdarchy Ted.
And a funny thing happened to me today on the way to the quest.
Jump down in the description below where you can find Nerdarchy, the newsletter, game weekly tips, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
All right, so it's recording day. We had stuff planned, and
Boom! Side quest.
Side quest. Yep, that's right. So I'm driving over, and then I'm about 2 miles out from Ted's house. Well, actually, it's a while to then get to Ted's house. We're unsponsored, but should be. But anyway, but all of a sudden, thump, 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 thump. I have a friggin' flat. So I get out of the car.
I thought you were going to say that attack helicopters were coming in.
It's clearly what's happening. So I got out of the car, and flat was confirmed. So before recording, I had to stop off at Pet Boys to, and also unsponsored, to get that the flat fixed. So that's what's happening right now. And but initially, my quest was to come here and record on this lovely Saturday morning. So,
and then my quest was also to come here on this lovely Saturday morning, and I believe I'm the one that actually got the side quest.
Oh.
Yeah,
you got the route because I had to rescue you.
I was like the princess
yes.
being rescued from the Pet Boys. Yeah, from the Pet Boys dragon.
Yes.
So we were talking about the idea of you have the thing that you send your players to do. And then you have like these little things that you can derail them with that are also equally important because maybe it's the wheel to their wagon that falls off and they have to go get it repaired, or it's up on blocks basically, and goblins or kobolds ran off with the wagon wheel. That would be pretty fantastic.
You stop and ask the gnome for directions, and his goblin buddies are in the back putting your wagon up on the blocks.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
really, when you live in a world that ebbs and flows through standard time, you have things that, while you might be on track for one thing, there's times that it's not, you're not going to be able to stay on that path. There's
reality intervenes.
You have to deviate from that path, and it's these things that wind up adding this extra layer of interesting and realism at the same time, and it's a way for you to protract out whatever your extended plot is. And some DMs, they go right from point A to point B, and then to point C, and then point D, and before you know it, the alphabet is finished, the quest is over, and everything you did happens to stay along that one line. Is these deviations where you wind up skipping this thing over here, or you have to do this winding trail to get back to the main plot. And I don't know, I just feel that I do this kind of stuff every so often, just because it's like, all right, well, you've got this main quest, but I don't want you to accomplish it yet. So there's times that you can plan it because of that, or you can plan these side quests because, well, player X isn't going to be here tonight.
Yeah.
I as a GM, I tend to just throw out a bunch of different plot threads, and they don't always resolve themselves, so they're still kind of dangling. I guess on this campaign, not so much as I've done in previous ones, but they're always there. And a lot of times the players are thinking about these things, and do they do the quest now, or do they try and wrap up one of these loose ends that's kind of bothering them?
Right.
Yeah.
Villains that get away, whatever.
And it just matters, too, like, how important it might be to that specific character and what their bent is. Like, people overdosing on illegal drugs in the middle of Gryffindor, like, Falcor's going to care a little less about that because it's like they get what they deserve sort of situation. And he's also, like, it's not really his home world, so
right.
He doesn't take as much ownership. Where, like, if that thread was thrown in front of Lyndon Hemsworth, he'd probably have give a little effort to cleaning up the streets being the mayor.
Right.
So, yeah, you have different threads out there that, based on someone's perception of importance, may get wrapped up. But so I was thinking a good way to kind of maybe just come up with some ideas for side quests is you could generate random encounters from the DMG and see, is there anything I can do that could just sort of take my players just off the rails a little bit from the main objective of the moment. And either it could be interconnected to the plot, or it can be completely its own individual thing, because not everything is connected to one grand design, because
right.
That's reality.
Right.
Shit just happens sometimes.
And it has the ability to either be a one-off. It could be an encounter, it could be a session, or it could be its own huge arc. And you could wind up bouncing back and forth between this side arc and your main story arc. And the players could be, having to, kind of tap dance through both of them, or they could have to, at one point in time, have to make a decision. Okay, both of these are too big. We can only commit to one of them. And if your side quest becomes more the main quest, then what do you do with the main quest?
You just throw it all out the window, start a casino where there's blackjack and hookers, and not worry about anything.
Yeah, there you go. That's one way to resolve it.
But you'd only do that if you're playing a Warforged.
Yeah. So, and then in the case of my tire/wagon wheel, like maybe there's something about the manufacturer of the wagon wheel is no longer making the wagon wheels, so you have to like fight off some giants who have been sacking the foundry in which all the wagon wheels of the kingdom are made.
I think that's a bit of a stretch for
Yeah, it's pretty
for D&D, but
Because it's one Cooper and he works by himself, maybe with an apprentice.
But these are some really nice wagon wheels. I mean, they like spin by themselves even when the wagon's not spinning. They
There's a
light
light
up.
spell.
There's like a fairy fire that goes off inside of it, man. You can't even imagine what kind of rims are on this wagon.
next month on Patreon, tripped out wagon wheels.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for it.
So, side quests inevitably happen in a living, breathing campaign world. There's just always things going on. There's someone's cat's going to get stuck up in a tree. There's brigands, there's bandits, there's all kinds of other things going on besides whatever the quest is that your players are on. And it can pull them towards them or not. And there could be consequences for these actions or for them dealing with it or not dealing with it. And it just like ties the characters and the players into the world even deeper. If they choose to ignore those side quests and are happening in their backyard, well, they're probably going to start seeing some consequences for that. Yeah. Or maybe if those aren't as those matters aren't as pressing and they ignore the main quest, there could be consequences for that. So it's up to you, the GM, to figure out how this is going to impact, the region. Whether it's just the town or the kingdom, or maybe even, it could be even a bigger threat globally or the whole dimension. Just depends on what's going on. But there's always going to be things that pop up and little side treks that are going to happen. They could even just be on the way to, solving the main problem.
Yeah. And for me, the greatest satisfaction as Dungeon Master is when you get that, the players are like, what does this even have to do with the quest? Like, I remember I threw a thing in the marketplace that this woman was talking about a chicken as if it were her husband. And like yelling and trying to get this possession of the chicken. Like, so like one of you guys later on was like, what was the deal with the fucking chicken? So like if you would have explored that later on, it turned out that there was this evil transmuter and her husband was like a gardener or something like that there, and he just got annoyed with him and polymorphed him into a chicken. So,
Seems appropriate.
Yeah. But that never got explored.
Well, that brings up another fun thing you can kind of do as the GM, and that is to, you can do a rumor chart or table that you can just pop out throughout your campaign at will. You do fun things like that. And, sometimes they're true, sometimes they're not. Sometimes the husband has really been polymorphed by an evil transmuter. Other times
the woman's just crazy.
Or just loves chickens. One or the other.
There's a number of different directions you could go with that. She could have had some kind of magic affecting her brain, and her husband could really be out there, and he left her because she now thinks that the chicken is her husband and isn't talking to him anymore because she can't perceive him.
Because he's always clucking around.
Maybe. Yeah. Now I'm envisioning that he leaves this like Dear John letter on the bed with the chicken, explaining that the chicken is now him. Why didn't I think of that? I could have gotten away years ago.
So glad your wife doesn't watch this channel.
So the question is, how do you guys use side quests in your games? How often does it come up? Let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can check us out over on nerdarchy.com.
You can click at us over on Instagram.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.